Hello, Gemini risings. Welcome to our monthly zodiac reading for the month of November 2025. There is a lot to get into, a lot to jump into, so let's not waste any time. Let's see. We are going to get an overall energy theme for the month. We will pull tarot for each week. I will go over those tarot messages as well as the astrological transits that are occurring those weeks, and then we will pull some additional clarifying tarot and oracle. So let's see what the overall energy is for the month ahead. New moon in Cancer, relax. Shout out to every single one of you who just went, relax, don't do it. Da, 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 da. Just want to shout y'all out. We are on the same wavelength. But new moon energy means we're essentially a new opportunity. We are experiencing a new moon within the sign of Scorpio, so a fellow water sign. This could mean that maybe you guys are stressed emotionally. Maybe you're overstimulated. Maybe you're a little exhausted. So this is giving you an opportunity this month to relax. There's not a lot. I mean, there's stuff happening energetically, but a lot of it isn't really hitting you guys, except for maybe, no, even Uranus, when it's retrograding, it's stationing at the 0 degree within your sign, and then it's moving back into the sign of Taurus for a little bit. So even you guys are going to get a reprieve. So let's see. Okay, I need to get this stuff out of the way so I can see this. All right. Here in the first week, we have the 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, so definitely feeling some financial hardships, maybe struggling with your health, struggling with relationships. But overall, the 5 of Pentacles represents feeling left out in the cold, feeling like your prayers aren't being answered, just feeling like there is, here in the tangible physical world, there's just a lot of hardship. Like you keep coming up against obstacle or challenge. It can feel like chaos. Whatever the case may be for you guys, it definitely feels like you're being kind of left out in the cold, like the universe is not hearing you, they're not seeing you, they're completely ignoring you. Here in this first week, this is the week that we have Mars, the planet of action, war, aggression, is moving into the sign of Sagittarius. For you guys, Sagittarius sits in your 7th house. So this could mean that like business-wise, business contracts, you're coming up against a lot of hardship, or even relationship, right? This is long-term commitment. Maybe you're having a really hard time staying committed to what's actually been happening, like the things that you've committed yourself to, whether that is a business opportunity, a business contract, whether that is a relationship, whether that's improvements with your health or with your finances. You're really having a hard time, maybe struggling to keep those commitments, right? And maybe you're not sure why. Maybe it's just a lot of obstacles, like I said, a lot of challenges. But Mars can give you this opportunity to become laser focused, right? Mars is action. It is also about power and control. It's kind of like conquering, right? You can conquer these challenges. Okay, you can conquer these challenges, or this energy, you could end up, because you're frustrated, again, feeling like you're very challenged, end up lashing out aggressively. So you want to be mindful of that energy. It can go either way. So you want to be, like I said, very mindful about how this energy is impacting you. That's happening on the 4th. On the 5th, we have the full moon within the sign of Taurus. This here is Taurus energy. Okay, so Taurus represents the physical world. It is what we value within the tangible physical world. That could be relationships, anything that we find pleasure in. It can definitely involves the physical world. It definitely, that's kind of what we're looking at, the things that you find pleasure in, the things that you find comfort in. Full moons are a buildup of energy, and the light of the moon is heightening and is illuminating the things that you truthfully you need to see. For you guys, Taurus sits in your 12th house. This is your house of the subconscious. This is your house of self-sabotage. This is your house of mental health. This is your house of all of the things that you keep tucked away, that you keep hidden from regular eyes, right? It's all of the things. It's essentially the skeletons in our closet. So it could be that it's becoming illuminated to you, maybe why you're struggling. It's maybe being illuminated or revealed to you why you're having a really hard time maybe overcoming these challenges, okay? That's here in the first week. On the 6th, Venus, the planet of love, money, beauty, and value, is moving into the sign of Scorpio. Venus in Scorpio can be very obsessive, can be very possessive, but it's also deeply loyal. Deeply loyal. It wants utmost honesty, like forthright. It wants intimacy. It wants vulnerability. And for something like Scorpio, that comes through honesty, like flat out, unabridged honesty, okay? Scorpio sits in your 6th house. This is your day-to-day routine. So it could mean that you're finding more value within your day-to-day. With Scorpio sitting in your 6th house, doing introspective work, things like shadow work, doing introspective work is something that you guys should be doing on a day-to-day basis. And that probably could help you, because what it's going to do is that it's going to oppose your 12th house, right? So Scorpio and Taurus, they desire security. Taurus desires security on a physical level. Scorpio desires security on an emotional and psychological level, right? But the theme itself is security. And for you guys, if Scorpio's in your day-to-day, that meant emotional and psychological security is what is going to help you feel more secure within the physical world. Okay? And you feeling more physically secure within the physical world is going to help boost you feeling secure psychologically and emotionally. Does that make sense? Like they feed one another. Even though they sit opposite, they feed one another. Okay? So Venus and Scorpio, you could find more value within your day-to-day. You could find that you see more beauty throughout your day-to-day. So that's really, really wonderful. And on the 8th, Uranus is going to be, it's retrograding, but it's going to be sitting at the 0 degree of your sign before it moves back into the sign of Taurus, okay? Here in the second week, the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So the 10 of Pentacles in reverse can feel like there's a financial loss, or there is like a loss of stability, a loss of security. Probably something that maybe you felt like you've worked a long time to refine, and it just feels like there's just this, again, hardship, but this feels more like a loss, right? So this is the week that Mercury is going to be stationing retrograde within the sign of Sagittarius. Again, this is your 7th house. So communication between your long-term commitments, long-term relationships, business partners could kind of become very, very bumpy. It could result in the loss of a relationship, result in a financial hardship. Jupiter is also stationing retrograde within the sign of Cancer. This is going to be hitting your 2nd house. So this is a finance house. When it comes to finances here in these first 2 weeks, it's going to be very challenging. There could be some setbacks that you are consistently coming up against, right? And that might be why you're being guided to relax, because they could very well be things that are completely out of your control. It could be something that is absolutely out of your control. So you trying to control it, you trying to overthink it, you trying to explain your way through it is not going to help. These might just be energies and things that you are going to have to roll with the punches on. As hard as that is, as uncomfortable as that is, okay? Here in the 3rd week, so definitely a lot going on within the physical world. The 9 of Pentacles in reverse. So this is, the 9 of Pentacles is known as the Lady of Leisure when she is direct. She's become self-made because she is focused on her self-development. She's focused on her financial stability. She is focused on improving her health, improving her mental state. She's essentially focused solely on the things that are ultimately going to pay off in the long run, right? She sees who she wants to be in the future, and she focuses on the things that are going to get her there. That's why she is living this kind of life, self-made luxury and stability. When she's in reverse, it can represent needing, regaining a sense of independence, right? Regaining a sense of independence. It can also represent that you're wishing and hoping, but you're not actually doing what is necessary. You're like, I want financial stability, but you've got poor spending habits. You're like, I want better health, but you've got really bad health habits. Maybe you eat too much junk food, drink too much soda, like drink too much, whatever these bad health habits may be. Maybe you want a better relationship, but you're so focused on work and all of your other mess that the relationship itself is suffering, right? So it's wishing and hoping, but not actually putting in the work that's required of you. Not actually putting in the work that is going to benefit you in the long run. And it can also represent needing to just get out in nature, maybe needing some solitude, needing some alone time to really be able to clear your mind. This is the week that we have the new moon within the sign of Scorpio. Like I said, new moons are a new opportunity or a blank slate, and Scorpio sits in your 6th house. This is your day-to-day routine. What we do frequently, meaning what we do on a daily basis, creates our frequency. So if you feel like you are constantly struggling on a day-to-day basis in the physical, tangible world, money, relationships, health, what are you choosing on a daily basis? What are you choosing? Right? Scorpio is very depth driven. It is the psychological sign. It is the sign that's like, why? Why do I do this? Why do I feel stressed out? Why did that person make me angry? Why does this upset me? Da 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 da. And they follow that thread until they get to a place of understanding. Because when you understand, you can come to a place of acceptance. When you come to a place of acceptance, you can come to a place of compassion. When you come to a place of compassion, you can come to a place of change, right? And the thing I noticed too, also, the new moon in Scorpio is happening at the 28th degree. This is a Cancer degree. Cancer represents our emotional attachments. It represents our emotional foundations. It could very well be that your emotions are kind of driving this cycle that you feel you're stuck in, or that you are stuck in. It's driving this cycle because the internal creates the external, right? Again, what we do frequently creates our frequency. So if we feel like we are, if we are internally consistently in a state of chaos, our external world is going to reflect that, because that is the energetic frequency that we are operating in. So this new moon in Scorpio is giving you an opportunity to regain your independence, to regain your sense of emotional and psychological sovereignty, right? Here in this, so new moon in Scorpio, this is also when we will also have a Mercury Sun cazimi. A cazimi happens anytime the Sun and Mercury, the planet Mercury, thoughts, ideas, communication, your ruling planet, literally, like the Mercury looks like it moves into the heart of the Sun. And this is going to amplify anything that Mercury is doing, which is currently retrograde. It's currently retrograde within your relationship house, your long-term commitment house. So it's almost like you're going to gain this sense of clarity, which is a really beautiful opportunity. And it might actually bring you the clarity that you need to change everything around. Okay. Here in the last week, the 6 of Wands in reverse. So the 6 of Wands in reverse can feel like you're not getting the accolades that you want. You're not getting the pat on the back from maybe those you want to support you. Maybe you're not getting that pat on the back for your hard work. Maybe you're just not, you don't feel celebrated or supported for the things that you've worked hard for, right? We can just not feel very, very successful. But the thing about the Six of Wands in reverse is that the success is actually there, because direct is still there. It's just inverted. It's in reverse. So the opportunity or the chance for success is still there, but you have to believe it. You have to know that you can do this. You have to know that you can be successful, and you have to know that you're supported by those around you. Okay, but you have to believe that you're supported. They could tell you all day long that they support you, but if you don't believe it, it doesn't really matter what they say, right? So this is going to be a very challenging month for you. I hate that, but I really do feel like this is a great month for you to grow and come into this sense of self-realization. Let's see what the clarifying cards have to say, because just because these are in reverse doesn't mean that the rest of them will be. Just realized my chapstick is sitting right there on the table. Here in the first week, the Five of Pentacles, the Six of Cups. Ooh, and the Six of Pentacles. So sixes are about balance. They're about harmony, right? It's about, the Six of Pentacles is recognizing that what you give is what you get, and what you get is what you give. Okay, so it could mean that while you guys you might be encountering a lot of these obstacles, it may mean that in order to kind of level this out psychologically, level this out emotionally, focus on the things that bring you joy. It could be like going back and doing the things that actually brought you joy or peace or happiness as a child. What made you feel good as a kid? Going back and doing activities that either were the same, like if you enjoyed painting as a child, pick up a paintbrush and some paint and paint. If you enjoyed dancing, if you enjoyed being outside and playing on a playground, go find a playground. Go find a playground and go sit on the swings. But find something that brings you a lot of joy. Because the Six of Cups represents nostalgia. It represents things, memories, emotions coming back from the past that actually bring you a lot of joy. And as a result, it's going to help you bring more balance to the tangible world. Remember, Pentacles represents the tangible world, okay? So physical relationships, finances, our physical health, and like our material possessions, right? It's going to help bring in this sense of reciprocated balance. So even though you are experiencing kind of this turbulence, or you're experiencing these challenges in the physical world, remember what I said, Venus is moving into Scorpio. This is your day-to-day. Focusing on something in the day-to-day that brings you joy and happiness can help restore this sense of balance, maybe even restore this sense of gratitude. And you know what I noticed? Again, Scorpio sits in your sixth house, 6 and 6. Sixes represent balance and harmony, right? So if you want to restore or feel a sense of psychological and emotional balance, you need to maybe, again, find something that you enjoy, so that even though the physical world, work, relationships, family, whatever the case may be, might be very challenging right now, internally, you could restore this sense of balance. And remember, this is the week of the full moon within the sign of Taurus, and it's opposing your sixth house, which is in Scorpio. Okay, so like this whole theme right here is very much aligned to what is happening cosmically. Okay, so If you're feeling stressed out, you're feeling overwhelmed, feeling again like you're just left out in the cold, internally focusing on things that may bring you joy and happiness and really thinking about memories can actually restore that sense of balance. Here in the second week, the 10 of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, and the Ace of Cups. Okay, so again, this is this toss-up between the physical world and your emotional world. I think this entire month is trying to reestablish this balance between the physical world and your emotional world, because they essentially, like I said earlier, they feed one another, right? So here we've got the 10 of Pentacles, consistently feeling like there is a financial loss, maybe feeling like your long-term commitments are just falling through. And this again is because of the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles represents entrepreneurship, but when it's in reverse, it also represents self-mastery, right? Because when this card is direct, you're refining something within the physical, tangible world. But when it's in reverse, this is refining the self. And as you refine the self, it's going to provide an opportunity for healing. It is going to refine an opportunity for love. It is going to refine and bring about a brand new beginning for this sense of inner peace and healing and love, right? So that's gorgeous. I absolutely love it. So when Mercury goes retrograde within the sign of Sagittarius, within the sign of your 7th house long-term commitments, you need to be doing the inner work. And when you do, it is going to really just expand this moment, this opportunity for healing, love, and peace. For like heart-centered connection even. Because again, Mercury is going retrograde within your 7th house. This is your house of long-term commitment and relationships and business contracts. So if those two things are feeling a little rocky, Mercury retrograde is going to provide you the perfect opportunity to rectify that. Here in the third week, the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, the 7 of Swords, and the 4 of Pentacles. So my nose is itching like crazy. I forget what that means, like what's that superstition? But so the 9 of Pentacles, like I said, it's like you're wanting, you're wishing, I want stability, I want security, I want luxury, I want comfort, I want all of these things. But you are deceiving yourself if you think that you're actually putting in the work to get it done. Because you are holding on to something. You're either holding on to the mentality of, no, I'm doing all I can, but yet you're not changing any of your habits. You're not changing your spending habits. You're not changing your health habits. You're not changing how you show up in your relationships. You're not changing anything. So you're deceiving yourself with the 7 of Swords. That is self-deception. You are wearing a mask. You are pretending. You are telling other people, yeah, I'm doing everything that I can do, when in reality, you're not. You're not doing the things that you can do. And it's because you're holding on to something. Maybe you're trying to hold on to control. Maybe you are trying to, maybe the discomfort that you feel has become so comfortable that the idea of changing, of shifting is scary. Only you know that answer. Only you know that answer. But if you really want to shift this 9 of Pentacles around, if you really want to step into that self-made energy, you have to stop pretending like the choices that you're making are actually doing you some good. You've got to start making different choices, and you have got to let go of control. You've got to let go of control. Open up that heart space and be like, you know what? I don't have control over this. I don't have control over this. And maybe you just saying that thing I don't have control over this, can open up the door to you recognizing. And like I said, it was either here or it was this one. I think it was this week. That acceptance turns into that compassion, turns into that understanding, turns into change. But if you keep resisting this, if you keep trying to hold on to the way things are, whether you're doing it subconsciously or you're doing it consciously, it's going to leave you exactly where you are. If you continue to make the same choices, you're going to continue to get the same results you've always gotten. Here in the last week, oh, and again, this is the new moon in Scorpio. This is your house of day-to-day habits. Day-to-day habits. So these are the things that you do on a daily basis. So if you are trying to hold on to control, if you're trying to hold on to your, again, I'm doing all I can do, when in reality you're not, you're going to continue to get the same results you always got. But this new moon in Scorpio is giving you an opportunity to change how you show up in your life on a daily basis. Here, oh look, and again, we've got another 6 here, right? So again, the 6 of Wands, the 3 of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So the 3 of Swords in reverse can represent that a separation has occurred, a loss has occurred, but it's already occurred, so you're kind of stepping into this place of healing and acceptance. So if you feel like you're not supported, if you feel like you haven't been successful, you're kind of stepping into this place of acceptance. And it could be that maybe with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, you're choosing to maybe stand still in this moment instead of try to move forward. And choosing to stand still can actually provide an opportunity of rest, physical rest. It can provide an opportunity to stop and to self-reflect. Because the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. And it's because he's very intentional and he's very deliberate with the choices with each step that he takes. When he's in reverse, he's not moving anywhere. And it could be procrastination as well. You are procrastinating taking the next step. And if that's the case, then you need to ask yourself why. Why am I procrastinating taking this next step? Because I shouldn't be. If I know what needs to be done and I want change, why are you hesitating? Typically, my therapist told me that anytime there is a sense of procrastination, it's usually because there's a fear attached to it. And it could be that the fear is that you won't be supported, or that maybe people will see you as unsuccessful. When in reality, personally, I think the inverse is true, is that if you can be mature enough to say, I was wrong, how I was going about things wasn't the best way for me, and now I need to shift gears, that shows a level of emotional maturity. That shows a level of emotional intelligence. And that shows a level of integrity and growth. So if you're worried, if you're afraid that if you do this, you'll be seen as I'm not successful, then you're going to stay exactly, if you're afraid that that's how you're going to be viewed, one, fuck them. If they want to view you as unsuccessful simply because you had the courage to admit that you'd been going about things wrong, then forget them. Forget them. Because like I said, it actually takes a great amount of courage and integrity to admit that and to take action to change that. This has been an incredible reading. Like it really has. Like I am excited for you guys to see it. Count your blessings. Find a space in gratitude. What do you have that other people don't have? What do you have that's on your bucket list that you've already accomplished? So in this week, instead of allowing the subconscious or the ego to convince you that you're left out in the cold, instead of it allowing you to convince you that God has forsaken you or that you're all alone, count your blessings, because I guarantee you there's something in your life, because this card wouldn't have come out if it didn't. There's something in your life that you can absolutely be grateful for. Here with the Six of Cups, thinking about the people, the memories, the things in your life that you can actually be grateful for, and hold on to those like a life preserver to get you through that moment. And it will allow you to restore this sense of balance. Face your adversities. The only way we end up facing our adversities is if we go within. We have to look ourselves in the mirror, because usually we are our own worst enemy. So we are our biggest adversary. We are our biggest adversary. So when you look yourself in the mirror and you start doing that inner work, why do I keep making this choice? Why do I feel this way? Why am I thinking this? It's providing you a brand new beginning for emotional fulfillment and healing. I don't really think it's love unless it's like self-love, but I definitely feel like this is an opportunity for healing and for you to maybe step into this place of like compassion for yourself. Here in this third week, be patient. Be patient. Working on yourself takes time. These little changes that you make on a day-to-day basis, you're not going to see an immediate result overnight, but as long as you stay consistent, because we've got a lot of earth sign energy here. Earth sign energy is slow moving, but it is consistent. It is consistent. It shows up every single day because it knows that in the long run, it will be worth it. So don't expect to see immediate changes or an immediate sense of stability within the physical world, but I do think that you'll see more of a change within your internal world, your psychological world, and your emotional world than you will within the physical world. Like you'll see that shift faster than you'll see it shift in the physical world. But I guarantee you, once you feel that shift internally, you will begin to see the little hints that things are shifting within the external world as well. So just be patient. Be decisive. Be decisive. Procrastination. What are you procrastinating on? What are you having a hard time accepting? And why are you having a hard time accepting it? Okay. This is a big month for you to do the internal work. So I hope you are all able to find time to do it. I hope you all make time to do it. I know you're Geminis and you're busy little bees, and that's why we love you. But at the same time, you guys need to slow down this month. Try to relax and really do that internal work. So I truly hope this reading helped, and I hope you guys have a killer month.